In 1961, we left our atmosphere for the very first time. In 1969, we landed on the moon. Our progress seemed exponential. Mars was clearly the next step. But while the human mind can conquer almost every situation, our bodies cannot. We are not adapted to survive in a zero-gravity environment, and attempting to do so without the proper precautions will prove deadly if nothing is done. However, we can use the same intellect that broke the barrier of our atmosphere to adapt technology, allowing the human body and mind to survive and conquer long-term space travel. I'm Ellie Guha.
I'm Sophia Moreno.
I'm Annabelle Ronald.
I'm Olivia Rossiter.
And I'm Lucy Turner. We are
Astronyx.
When astronauts spend time in space, the fluids in their bodies rise and shift, which is known as hypovolemia. It causes bloating and puffiness, and over time builds up, creating pressure on the optic nerve and retina, causing vision damage.
This means astronauts cannot spend a prolonged time in space without risking their health and safety.
They also lose muscle mass as a result of the microgravity environment. This is known as muscle atrophy.
To combat this, astronauts must spend 2 of their valuable hours on the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device, or ARID.
So we've designed
And redesigned again.
a stratum, a sleeping module for astronauts, which prevents hypovolemia and some of muscle atrophy.
A stratum consists of a sleeping mat and blanket, held together with small ties to keep the 2 pieces together while the astronaut sleeps.
The sleeping mat is made with memory foam, designed to keep the sleeper spine aligned, whilst the blanket is made from a polycotton blend stuffed with cotton, which is both breathable and easy to clean. As well as this, all materials will be put through an antimicrobial treatment, for hygiene's sake.
Inside the blanket, and set into the bottom of the sleeping mat, are the ultralight, super strong neodymium or NIB magnets. The magnets in the blanket will be attracted to the magnets in the sleeping mat, applying pressure on the body.
The sleeping mat is universal, so for general use on the ISS, only 6 sleeping mats will need to be taken up. On the other hand, the blanket must be tailored to each astronaut to ensure fit.
In the blanket, there are magnets placed around the calves and around the biceps on curved aluminium strips to evenly distribute pressure. This pressure prevents the blood from being displaced from the limbs. There is also a strip of aluminium across the hips with magnets on it to keep the hips from turning in, but rather mimicking the position they adopt on Earth.
The blanket also includes a strap that will hold the sleeper's back in place, forcing the muscles to stay active despite the lack of gravitational pull.
Additionally, we're using heating pads to help the circulation of the blood around the body. This compensates for the lack of the microgravity environment that our blood vessels have been adapted to work in. Circulation is vital for the prevention of vision loss.
When we were confident with our design, we consulted experts from ESSA and Oxford University for feedback. They encouraged us to continue editing and developing. We've taken joy in perfecting it.
Although our product took a very long time to design, we are very proud of its current state.
Reaching Mars is the space industry's central mission. However, no solution has been found to effectively combat the health issues that astronauts face during space travel. This is one of the obstacles preventing a mission to Mars.
The stratum is the first step in reaching a solution to this problem, and as a company we will strive to create many more innovative products that solve these issues. As of yet, we have created a highly practical and inexpensive product that can be implemented on the ISS and, when the time comes, used on a mission to Mars.
We plan to license a stratum to space agencies such as NASA and SpaceX in order to develop it with expert advice and access to proper experimentation facilities. To achieve this, we would make use of R&D opportunities offered by these space agencies. We will consider pursuing the HERO program or attending future space symposiums run by the Space Foundation.
Additionally, we've adapted our product to be highly practical for space travel. As we said before, the mattress can be left on the ISS and used by multiple astronauts and can be easily transported into space.
As well as this, we have kept the comfort and safety of astronauts in mind when developing a stratum, with our memory foam sleeping mat. And we've taken safety precautions such as using non-flammable materials in our design.
As you might know, Artificial gravity seems to be the next step in the space world. NASA and Boeing are both trying to develop it.
So why should space agencies take an interest in a stratum when artificial gravity seems to be on the horizon?
A stratum is not meant to compete with artificial gravity. Instead, it is meant to be a feasible option in the many years in which artificial gravity is still being developed. A stratum is incredibly inexpensive. Currently, we estimate it will cost less than $2,500 to manufacture, compared to a possible $23 billion for NASA's hypothetical artificial gravity unit. Space exploration does not have to wait for artificial gravity. So, what about the other products we're competing with?
The ARED, which is currently used on board the International Space Station, only deals with muscle atrophy and would not be a feasible option for deep space exploration. With the stratum, astronauts could spend less time on the ARED whilst on board the ISS, and more time on experiments that really matter, as they will use a stratum whilst they sleep.
Additionally, Roscosmos has created leg occlusion cuffs that are designed to combat hypovolemia. Unfortunately, they only alleviate symptoms in the first 3 days of microgravity.
So there's no other product like a stratum that exists.
Exactly.
So, we're going to license our IP, our design, a stratum.
Our sleeping module for astronauts.
Designed to prevent and alleviate muscle atrophy and hypovolemia.
Using astronauts' time efficiently.
To space agencies such as NASA, SpaceX, and ESA.
If we have anything to do with it, humanity will get to Mars.
We are Astronyx.